I'm here outside of Liverpool Street Station, and there's a few odd buildings in the area. The walkie-talkie and the cheese grater both come to mind, but my favourite odd building is actually around the back, and only around 5% of it actually touches the ground. In the 20th century, this area was absolutely dominated by railways. There were three major stations: Bishopsgate, where Shoreditch High Street Station is now, Liverpool Street, and then Broad Street right next to it. They were all brought under British Rail in 1948, but by the 60s, the area wasn't doing too well. Bishopsgate Station was destroyed by a fire in 1964, and Broad Street was barely seeing any passengers, officially closing in 1986. Suddenly, the area around Liverpool Street Station became an interesting opportunity. British Rail created a master plan and in pretty quick succession built several massive complexes, including the Broadgate buildings. But this one area had a bit of a tricky problem. Usually when you're constructing a building, you'd want to sink columns into the ground to support the structure. If you wanted to build on top of something, a rail line, in really simple terms, you'll want to find gaps between obstacles, put columns there, build a platform on top, and then build your building on top of that. But this specific site sat above 18 live railway tracks, packed so closely together that there were no gaps to drop supports through. So instead they had to do something radical. Turn the building into a bridge. Instead of sitting on columns like a normal building, Exhange House is quite literally a bridge, with these massive steel arches on either side carrying the entire 10-storey structure across the tracks. It was designed by SOM, the same architects behind the Burj Khalifa and One World Trade Center. But while those buildings stick out, this one kind of blends in. And that's why I love it. Incredible engineering hidden in plain sight. It works like this. The platform stretches over the train tracks, which also now houses Exchange Square. Then 4 parallel structural arches, 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside, form the building's skeleton, meaning there's no need for structural columns on the inside. Then each floor is actually hung from the structure, kind of like shelves. Only around 5% of the structure actually touches the ground, mostly at these concrete bases. Basically 10 stories of office space for over 2,000 people, hanging mid-air. And it wasn't the only creative engineering needed in the area. Next door is this, 201 Bishopsgate and the Broadgate Tower, also designed by, and now home to, the same designers. Both completed in 2009, they were designed to sit above the same live rail lines, this time just way bigger. Now for this one there was space for just a few piles, which were squeezed into gaps between the infrastructure below, which is why both buildings have slightly unusual shapes, particularly Broadgate Tower, where the angle and tapering aren't just aesthetics, they were shaped by where the supports could go. This is just what a skyscraper looks like contorted around a railway. And then next door to that, a sign that you're not quite on solid ground, a visible bridge. This time a normal one, crossing the rail cutting. You can actually hear the trains below. It's not the first time a building has been built over an active train line. A good example is New York's Hudson Yards. And here at Euston Station, they're planning on doing the same as part of HS2. There's even a plan to build more on top of Liverpool Street. Because when there's no more space on the ground, cities start building in the air. Today, Broadgate is booming. Redevelopment is continuing. I actually saw a great video a few weeks ago by CityEd about the upcoming redevelopment of the former Bishopsgate Station site. I'll link it below. It's proof that with a little creativity and a strong financial incentive, cities like London will never run out of space. What else can be built on? I guess we'll find out.